This podcast is brought to you by Fandom Spotlight. Check us out at fandomspotlight.com. Have fun and follow your fandom.
Last time on Dragon Ball for Life.
Your dad just skipped the 2. 5, 4, 2, go.
We don't count around here.
Like I said, y'all said y'all was ready, right? But you know, brother Trav, 5 seconds on the clock. No context recap.
I was like, yo, hold on.
5 seconds for the countdown. Shirt change.
Yo, we working in time chamber time now? What's going on?
Facts. The 3-month joint, hyperbolic time chamber light. Mikey, keep all this in. 10 seconds on the clock. No context recap. Trav, are you ready? In 5.
Listen,
4,
man.
3, 2, go.
You know what? Gohan finally decided to show up and stop teaching his students. 7-3 says, shit, I don't know what to do because Gohan knows my moves and Goku and Vegeta are still training and we don't know if they're going to get there in time.
Time. Ooh. Right at the 10-second mark.
Ooh, listen, man. Back like we never left.
Back like we never left. Anime, we have your attention, please, and welcome to another episode of Dragon Ball for Life, where you come for the content, but you stay for the culture. That's right, we're talking Goku and Sofu. Supreme Kai wearing Supreme clothing, mixing our DBZ in with some EBT, covering manga and anime for people who might know a little something about Sally Mae. As always, we are your esteemed host, the main gods, aka the Fusion Dance Dons. I am Vegeta himself, Mr. Matty Ice Matthew Porter, the Prince of all sayings, here with the oob to my Majin Buu, my good brother Troto Trav. Talk to the people, Trav.
You know me, I stay chillin', and I love thy women like Krillin. And you know, I don't really play a harp, but I'm black and powerful, so they call me Saiyan. That's sharp.
Put him out because he's on
hitting
fire.
up.
He said skill.
Skill.
Ain't
Skill.
no
Can you find the Dragon Ball skill?
skill. So we are back with another episode, chapter 55, Merus' True Identity. Probably one of the better titles. Even though, when we get to it, they really only cover that in like the first 2 pages.
For real.
Then it's completely something else.
It's like they draw you in just to be like psych. And we're like, all right.
First 2 pages.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Facts. Like the last chapter 54 could have been called Merus' True Identity. Because like it ended on that.
Yeah, I feel like they could have been doing that like the last few chapters with all the little tidbits they've been dropping for us.
Facts. So Trav, what I was saying to you in pre-production before we started this, fun facts, this is actually the first chapter I read of the Moro arc that made me go back and read the whole thing. Cause I had seen cause I guess we'll get to it. So we know that, you know, Vegeta goes to planet Yardrat to do some training. He wants to learn some magical techniques because, you know, his physical strength isn't going for it. One of which is instant transmission. So when Vegeta was on Yardrat doing that, apparently it was kind of like a really big thing in the World Wide Web that he was gonna learn instant transmission. So when I had seen the article, I didn't even know that the Moro arc was a thing. I was like most, I know, shame on me, revoke my manga card.
Cancel
for
the
pod.
pod.
One day.
Cancel the pod.
I didn't. Yeah, I know. I canceled the pod one episode. So yeah, I didn't know that the Dragon Ball Super had continued past the tournament of power. You know, and they like scuttled it and everything. I was like, dang, they could probably keep it still going. So I moved on to other anime entities, foreshadowing and whatnot. But yeah, when I had seen there was like an article like on Google, it was like a trending topic, and it was like Vegeta instant transmission. I was like, oh, this is probably some, you know, fan made fan fiction shit or whatever.
Hero shit.
And then I was like, nah, exactly. So I really didn't pay it no mind. But then because the first thing I saw was a picture of Vegeta in like the Yardratian armor.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's like a cool fan drawing. Someone went to art school. Like, and
Was it
whatnot.
Mikey?
But then I started. Yeah, I know, right? Facts. So I started paying a little bit more attention. And it was like, no, this is like, chapter 55 in the Moro arc. And I was like, fuck is Moro arc?
He said, fuck his bull.
Yeah, so I actually started the Moro arc on this
Gotcha,
chapter.
that's interesting.
And went to the end. Yeah, went to the end and then went back. And
Did you just like take a break from Dragon Ball once the anime ended?
Yeah, because I didn't know they
Okay.
kept going with the manga and stuff. Like, I obviously like the Broly movie and everything. I was hyped for that and whatnot. But I was like most fans, I won't say most, like the more casual, not diehard fans, they kind of were just, sitting with crossed fingers hoping that they brought the anime back.
I mean, and in your defense too, like I don't, to be honest with you, outside of like just the content creators that I followed and stuff like that, they really weren't advertising the manga that heavy, like what that they do with their movie and theatrical releases. Like obviously they're gonna have a bigger budget and they're gonna have more promotion with the movies, but given that it was ongoing still, I definitely thought that it could have used a little bit more promotion just because of everything that was going on. But hey, you know what, people now know about it, so we here.
Yeah, the clickbait was like breaking news: Vegeta learns classic Goku technique. That was like the tagline. I was like, fuck are they talking about? And I clicked it, and then it was just like, in the latest chapter of the Dragon Ball manga, and I was like, wait, they kept
like,
going.
Hold on.
I was like,
you should. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't text me. Like you knew this shit and didn't tell me. Like I thought we was boys,
bro. I was so like hype. Yeah, it didn't even cross my mind to bitch at you about it.
Yeah, I feel that.
But that was a fun trip down memory lane. So if you remember last time on Dragon Ball Full Life Chapter 54, it ends off with them finally revealing why Merus has been yoked AF this whole arc.
Why
it
they
comes to
gassing
our
this
attention
man
that
up?
he is an angel. Right, exactly. Why are they giving him so much shine? Why they giving this cop so much shine? Like, why they just gonna shit on our man Jocko like that and just replace him? So we come to find out through a conversation between the Grand Priest and our old buddy Whis that Merus is actually an angel. He is an agent of the Grand Priest, and Chapter 55 picks up right where that conversation left off, and we kind of get some dialogue on what angels are and aren't allowed to do in the concept of their universe. So they have one rule, literally just one rule, and then they have to remain like impartial. They gotta be Switzerland. They gotta like ride the middle, and nothing that they can or can't do can like sway any type of leaning good or bad in the universe. They're kind of just observers. And then some of y'all might be thinking, well, Whis helps out a lot. Right? So there is some gray area, double entendre, don't ask me how, for like where they can operate. Yeah, you see what I did there? So we do get some further explanation that because Whis is training Goku and he's not using his full angel abilities, it's not really swaying the decisions because it's more Goku. Goku trains all the time. So it's not really Whis doing anything that's influencing Goku. It's him just kind of, you've seen Whis' training montages. He's playing with guys.
Like basically the angels can't have any direct intervention when it comes to mortal activity. Like for anyone that has been doing anime only and saw the Broly movie, remember the scene where Broly was trying to attack Whis and all he was doing was dodging him and wasn't touching him, wasn't fighting back, was legit just avoiding him. And so that's like an example of Whis, following protocol. Like, hey, look, I can fuck you up if I want to, but I'm not going to. So hey, tire yourself out because you ain't ever gonna touch me.
Exact. Thank you, good brother Chad. That's exactly what it is, because Whis isn't actually exercising the full extent of his angel powers. He's not directly interfering. It's from him messing around with them. Like, hey, if they tend to get stronger off of that,
which is like real funny that I just thought of real quick. That kind of like contradicts like how they have the rules set up. He sped up Bulma's pregnancy so that Brawl could get born, so Vegeta could
Oh yeah, so Vegeta came
like
to the center of power.
he literally directly intervened. But hey, we
Yeah.
know Toriyama doesn't think about this
I
stuff.
guess-
He just writes on the fly.
I guess in that moment, because he's like, yo, like I have the potential of losing out on all this Earth food and all
Right.
my guys. Let me speed this
Yeah.
along real
He
quick.
said, "Yo, y'all didn't see
And
nothing."
whatnot, what have you. So Whis does end up, saying to the Grand Priest, like, hey, Merus has been coming dangerously close to pussyfooting that line. I'll never turn up an opportunity to say the word pussyfooting. So he's toting that line on getting involved or not, because if you remember from the last chapter, Merus does say to Goku, like, all right, let's take the training wheels off. I'm gonna go full power. And Goku's just like, well, if you're going full power, he's like, that means you're gonna have to like strike to kill me. Merus is just like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to do. So that's kind of what set up the interaction between Whis and Grand Priest, because Merus is now flirting with breaking the rules, and Whis is just like, hey, well, let me go get him. One thing that I did fail to mention, that Merus he is a full-fledged angel, but he isn't like the guardian of a universe or anything like that. He is an agent of the Grand Priest who was sent to Earth to kind of like monitor and learn human ways, human interaction. Maybe that's for later on in life, where if he does become like the guardian of a universe, that he'll kind of like know how everything goes and whatnot, what have you. So Whis does say to him like, hey, let me handle this. I'm gonna go check him. I don't want you to erase him, because the punishment for breaking angel rules is that you get blipped, you get Thanos snapped, you get erased from existence. You're not there anymore. So Whis is just like, let me go talk to him before you make that decision, boss. Or dad. I feel like the Grand Priest is the father of all the angels. I feel like that was kind of like referenced or mentioned. It looks like my good brother Troto Trav did have some technical difficulties, so I'm just gonna fill this time while he's gone. So
Hi there, they call me the Governor, and I will be reacting to episodes of the final season of The Walking Dead, exclusively on the Fandom Spotlight YouTube channel. It's more fun than losing an eye, trust me on that. Check me out weekly when new episodes of The Walking Dead air. Have fun and follow your fandom.
we are back. We always got to pay them bills. So after all the communication with like how the rules work with angels and whatnot, what have you, we do cut back over to Yardrat. And do you remember the guy that Vegeta's with name? I feel like we figure it out each week and then we always forget.
Wasn't it Iriko? I think was his name.
Ah, yes, that was it. So we cut back over to Iriko in the spaceship that he took Vegeta with, and he gets like an incoming communication that there's some like power levels that have entered the atmosphere for Yardrat. And then we do see Vegeta training with the washed and repeat elder Yardratian type figure that we get in all Dragon Ball arcs. And we see Vegeta like kind of doing some needle jumping. Whoa, pause, double entendre, don't ask me how.
He a freak bull too?
He is a freak bull, just hopping on needles. And it's like a training. And then they're kind of getting a conversation with like the Yardratian elder. And Vegeta, he looks beat, he's tired, he's exhausted. And the Yardratian elder, he lets him know like, hey, like their training is all about like spiritual balance and like strengthening like your spirit and your soul energy. And he was saying that kind of referencing Vegeta's checkered past, that his spirit energy was like totally like off, like it was off balance, like because he had like who he was and all the bad things that he did back then versus the good upstanding societal man. Facts. Stress to say the least. Right?
Always.
So he was saying like, yeah, he was just like, he's basically said like, yo bro, your soul was fucked up. Like when Goku came here, he had some work to do. He's like, but your shit, nah.
He was all the way fucked up.
Yeah, so Vegeta was saying like, hey, like, but you are getting through this training a lot faster than what Goku was doing. And then you're taking to it a lot quicker than he was and whatnot. in terms of all like the cool shit that they're doing.
Yeah.
Paraba, that's the elder. Pabara, that's the elder one's name.
Yeah.
Elder Paraba. Elder Paraba. So so Vegeta's like saying, so Vegeta's kind of getting frustrated. He's just like, yo, bro, like we're doing like gymnastics and calisthenics and parkour. He's like, parkour. He's like, but I'm kind of like up against it. Like, can we kind of skip to the hard shit? And Pabara's saying like, bro, like you've actually your strength has increased exponentially. Like you've kind of like shattered yourself. And Vegeta's just like, fuck you talking about? Like I don't feel any different. Like that. Like he's just like, no. He's like, trust me.
Just wait, boy. Just wait on it.
You kind of yoked. So then we get, what's his name? I forgot it. Iriko kind of crashes the training, and he's like saying to Vegeta like, yo, some of Moro's goons, they're kind of still gone. I'm talking about Hunter and shit. Like,
the goons showed up.
Because the series is supposed to be coming back. I guess I was a little excited, got a little antsy.
Listen, we're all excited for that, for real.
So Moro's goons have still looting, pillaging, and plumaging the universe and whatnot. And I guess this Yardrat was just next. So Iriko was saying like, yo, still, so some of these goons are here. We kind of need you. And Vegeta's just like, all right, let me go see what's up. And the Yardratians are telling him like, hey, be careful. You're strong as fuck now. Like you were strong as fuck already. You're strong as fuck now.
So you don't know yet, boy.
He's just like, you just don't know what your power is. Like, yeah, you've done a lot of spiritual bouncing and awakening. Like, relax. Like, don't just bust the Hemi off. Like, ease into it or whatnot. So we see a couple of new characters again. We did say that one of the biggest strengths of this art is the character building, like the world building. Like we're seeing some familiar species from previous Dragon Ball iterations. We see a guy who's clearly from Zarbon's planet.
Yep.
I don't know if they've ever named Zarbon's planet before.
we don't even know what species he is.
Yeah, exactly. or like, we know nothing about like that particular planet or whatnot. But we see a couple of the convicts, some of the lower level guys, they got sent to Yardrat, so they're not heavy hitters. They was like, yo, y'all go handle that real quick.
Yeah, they were the C squad.
Exactly. 1000%. And they're just doing their Moro goon thing, just blasting shit, beating up some Yardratians. So Vegeta pulls up, the guy's talking shit, and he was just like, hey, you guys look familiar. Aren't you like that Galactic Patrol dude that we washed over on Namek? Like, ain't that you? Ain't you, boy?
It said you look kind of familiar.
He's like, last time I saw you was face down in the dirt. I don't know what. I ain't never seen you standing on 2 feet. That's why I ain't recognize you.
That was the man on these streets.
Facts. So Vegeta's just like, you know what? I'm not about to let you destroy this planet again. Going back to the full 180 reform program that Vegeta was in. The fact that it's just like, hey, this planet ain't even my planet. These people ain't even my people. But while I'm here, you're not about to get your shit off. Like, I'm not about to let you destroy planets. We had enough of that. So Vegeta, he points his finger at the guy, says, hey, not on my watch, buddy. Gives him the Karen finger. Said, not on my watch, pal, bucko. And a big old giant energy ball just shoots out of his finger. Like, to the point that he's just like, oh. He hit him with the DB4L Dodon ray. He was just like, that shit just like shot out, and it was just like a massive energy blast. That like fries like half a bull's. Like he got split ends like a motherfucker, like burnt damage, everything. Bad perm, flame perm. You already know. And Vegeta's just like, damn, to the point that it kind of left a crater through like the planet and whatnot. And the guy's just like, oh, like, damn, why'd you do that to me? You ain't even warn me. Like, if we was gonna throw hands, you could have just said, let's throw hands. Like, you ain't have to sneak me.
Could have
like
given
that.
me a fair 5, at least.
Yeah, exactly. And then Vegeta's just like, oh, like, where did all that come from? And then, the elder Pabara shows up. He's like, yo, I tried to tell you, you yoked now. Like, you that bull. He's like, please don't destroy our planet. And he was saying,
you ain't jerking a week. Relax.
Exactly. And he was going back again, referencing how like training is more than just physical and mental, like it is also a spiritual thing. And he's like saying to Vegeta, like, hey, you've been physically strong your whole life, like you got that down pat. He's like, but again, your spirit, your soul wasn't there. Like it's been torn. He was like, and now that you've, you know, like strengthened your spirit, he was just like, it's gonna like take your limits through the roof and whatnot, what have you. So Vegeta's just like, okay, well let me play around with the new toy real quick, see what we got going on. And so the strategy that Vegeta and Goku should always use first, Moro's goons decided to try to jump Vegeta. It was like, you know what? We saw what he packing. We not about to try to one-on-one this man.
Finally, someone tries to do a smart tactic.
Right, no fair ones around here.
Yeah.
So they try to jump him, and this is base form Vegeta, just for a reference point. And he's just kind of like, you know, flicking balls off. You know, just one hitters, little flicks and punches. Not even really going on the offensive. Just like bodying them with just like defensive moves and whatnot, like sending them cross planet just off a little flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist and whatnot, what have you. So the Zarbon guy, the Zarbon planet guy, he does something that we know Zarbon planet people to do. Turns into his alligator form or crocodile.
And if there was any doubt on that of him coming from that race, that just sealed the deal right
exactly.
there.
If it wasn't, you know, the hair or the head jewel or whatnot,
it was pretty obvious, but you know, still.
Yeah. Exactly. So he turns into the alligator and or crocodile. On one end of the, you know, geology people, zoology people to body me in the comments. Like, it's clearly a crocodile or whatnot. What have you.
But it's actually.
It's
actually these nuts, motherfucker.
Facts. Got him! And then we get another classic Dragon Ball Z trope that when we get a villain who was that guy where he's from, want to flex some of his powers, or want to, you know, like our Saiyan brethren or any of the Z fighters, you know, they're always like, oh, like once I transform, you'll never be able to defeat me. You know, we saw that with Poi Poi, we saw it with Zarbon.
That's how you know they've been locked up for
exactly
centuries, thinking that was gonna work.
So this is one of those episodes that isn't very dialogue heavy. What you think happens. The alligator bull tries to press Vegeta. Vegeta, in his newly found spiritual awakening, holier than thou-ness, whoops Bull's ass to the point that the guy tries to get like a death shot. You know, all the villains always want to try to get like a death shot. Just like he said, you know what? Since I can't win, I'm just gonna blow up the planet. That's how this is gonna go. So he turns like this kind of like this building, like the Eye of Toronto spinny thing. He like kind of like takes that part, the spinny part off of it, puts energy into it, and you know, throws it at Vegeta.
The CN Tower.
Kind of, you know. Yeah, yes. That's the one. So Vegeta, he's like, yo, fuck out of here. Flicks it away, you know, and then bodies the alligator bull again. This is still base form. Still not doing too much, like one hit there, one kick there, sending him cross world. Everybody's just like, hey, you know, can you finish this now? You're kind of fucking up the planet. Like, we gotta live here. Like, don't come to my house and start gang beef because you get to leave after this. Or what now?
Don't rub your feet on my couch.
So he knocks the alligator guy out of alligator transformation. He's just like, you know what? I'm snitching. I'm telling Moro, I'm out of here. And Vegeta's just like, you know what? I can't let you leave because you're not about to have reinforcements. Come fuck with my new little friends or whatnot, what have you. And the guy hops in the plane because, you know, all the Moro guys, part of they villain packages, they get a speeder. They get a plane. It's part of the 401k plan.
Yeah, they get a free whip.
Yeah, they get a company car.
Yeah, exactly.
so he hops in the plane and he goes to fly off. And the CN Tower energy wheel that was spinning around that Vegeta knocked away, it does what, you know, round disc shaped type things do, and it comes back and it actually ends up hitting the ship of the Zarbon guy and blowing them up. So, you know, it kills them, which I thought was kind of a cool way to not have Vegeta murder people, because, you know, they're trying to like give him this, hey, you still that bull, but, you know, you're not as cutthroat as you once were. And,
he's maturing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you kind of think about it, the kills that Vegeta has had since like his reformation, they've been like mega bad guys, or like big time hitters. They weren't really like the stooges. Like he doesn't kill like the young bulls because they're not worth his time. They're not worth my death count going up.
Yeah.
Whatnot. So the energy wheel crashes in, blows him up, and Vegeta even says, he's like, so, killed himself. Cool.
I didn't even do nothing.
Convenient for me. And then we get to the end of the chapter. There's a little bit of a Moro having a conversation where it's basically him just, again, going around, sucking up all the energy from different planets, doing what the throat goat does best and whatnot, what have you. And it's basically him, you know, they're counting down the days until they can come back to Earth, and he gets to go 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 with Goku and Vegeta again. And then the end of the chapter is what the foreshadowing of the title of the chapter actually represents, that Merus' true identity. So it took us all the way to the end.
They said, we'll tell you if you just make it this far.
Exactly. So we do see Merus and Goku. They're kind of in like the diet hyperbolic time chamber express / Hardy's Carl Jr. Area. And then they kind of just get teleported out of it because they were noticing like, yo, we're almost running out of time. Let's put in work. And we see Merus and Goku about to like go all out again, and they get zapped back to the outside where they were at, the Egypt-looking planet that they were in before. And who do we see? Good buddy Whis. Because remember, he did ask for permission from the Grand Priest to actually go and get Merus and handle it himself before he just erases him from existence. And he does say like, hey, buddy, we let you do what you needed to do. You kind of told the line. You got to come back with me. And Merus is like, oh shit, big bro.
He said, yo, I mean to do that, man. He said, yeah, but you know, we gotta take you back.
Exactly. So, you know, Whis does say, he was just like, you know, there aren't any secrets between angels. Like, you knew that we was watching. Like, you know that we're all seeing. Why did you think that you could get away with this or whatnot, what have you?
We see everything.
Yeah, and you know, and that's when Whis kind of doubles down. He was like, you know, training can be training, but it has to like just be that. You know, you guys going at each other full strength, that's something totally different. Especially, you know, you being an angel and you guys are like all powerful. Again, kind of harkening back to, you know, when Vegeta and Whis, who are like the two strongest fighters in the universe, are trying to go spar with Whis, they can't touch him. or like my man's defending them with a walking stick. like it's not nothing. So we got Whis. We got Merus, we got Goku, and he's saying, you know, training time's up. It's time for you to go. Goku's like, finally, like, oh my God, you've been an angel this whole time.
It's like, oh shit, I didn't know. All right.
Exactly. So, you know, again, Whis brings up, you know, angels who break the code do get eradicated, and Goku's just like, oh dang, like, this my new friend. Like, don't do that, or whatnot, what have you. And then we do get the end of the chapter where we get a cool little thing where you get to see Merus in like his angel uniform. He's not a Fed anymore. So
he's got his real clothes on.
Yeah, exactly. And Whis is saying, you know, like from this point forward, I'm going to be responsible for you. I'll kind of like be your overseer instead of you answering to the Grand Priest. I'm going to keep an eye on everything. And he even gets his little staff and everything out. And Merus says, like, you know, damn Goku, like, my bad, we were doing so good. I'm sorry that, you know, I couldn't, like, you know, take you to the promised land, the threshold of, like, really mastering Ultra Instinct. And Goku, in a very Goku-esque answer, just responds back with, you know, I'll figure something out.
Like, I got it.
I'll figure something out. And then Whis and Merus shoot off into the heavens, leaving Goku behind in a spaceship that he does not know how to fly.
Like he doesn't have instant transmission,
or like he didn't fly ships before. Like he flew a ship to get off Namek, he flew a ship to get from Yardrat back to Earth. Mad space capsules he's been in.
Like you said, he'll figure it out.
Exactly. So like I said, there wasn't a lot of dialogue, so this episode did feel a bit rushed, or we were kind of like here and there with whatnot, what have you. This was a very fight heavy chapter. Like we always say, animation always A1. Please go read this, watch the fight scenes for yourself. This definitely was more of a setup chapter because again, we know what's to come, and we are actually surprisingly getting very close to the end of this arc. So
finally,
you guys have been with us through a lot, but we won't tell you too much. But after the Moro arc is over, before we start to get into the previous or the next arc after that, probably gonna switch it up a little bit, do some other shit, do some dope shit, keep you guys entertained and engaged. But you know what we do at the end of these? We always rate these from 1 to 7 stars on a Dragon Ball. Trav, what are you giving this chapter?
I'm gonna give it a 4. Mainly for the Vegeta and Yardrat interactions, and with the Zarbon, great value Zarbon. That's definitely though a scene that I think I'm gonna enjoy a lot more in the anime than
1000.
Like, it was cool in the manga, but like whenever we see these not new beings, but like the species from the universe of characters that we've seen from the past, I always get excited to see it. All right, I want to see that interaction in animation form because it's just gonna bring me back. So, not too much happening, but I'm giving it a 4 off the strength of the Vegeta and Yardrat panels.
Yeah, I hate when y'all. I know y'all hate when me and Trav pick the same number for the same reason, but I'm gonna ditto that.
Yeah, I mean, like there's no sugarcoating it, man.
I'm gonna get this 4 stars for the same exact reason for the Vegeta fight. I did also like the explanation of Angel's rules and like the gray area that Whis operates in and how he's able to kind of get away with some shit that maybe he shouldn't. So I did like that as well. But again, this was a very dialogue light chapter. So please go back, look at the pages, read them for yourself, admire the artwork and all the fight scenes, because Torotaro always bodies those, like we always say. And that is going to be it for us this week. Follow us at DB4L_pod. That is on Instagram and Twitter. Again, it's DB4L_pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you currently can find us on Anchor and Spotify, with other streaming platforms coming super soon. I have been Mr. Matty Ice, Matthew Porter, Vegeta, the Prince of All Saiyans. He has been Saiyan A. Smith himself, Super Saiyan Sharp, Mr. Troll Told Trav. Shout outs to the beautiful people at Fandom Spotlight who sponsor us, power us, empower us. The King Kai to our Goku, if you will. Just a hand on the shoulder, the voice in our headset when we need to hear him. And like we always say, whether you watch it or you read it, we all need it. So follow your fandom right back here, and we will see you next time on Dragon Ball for Life. Bow. Dodon Ray. Bow. Shout outs to super producer Mikey.
We love you, Mikey.
Get out.